everyone. I forgot to light the candle. Not that we have to, but it's kind of anything that I do. I don't know. Ambiance. Good morning. Guess what? Guess what today is? I already watched practice one in Qatar. It was great. This weekend is shaping up to be a big battle between McLaren and Ferrari because Verstappen has already won the Drivers' Championship, but the Constructors' Championship is still on the line. And there's only like 24 points between McLaren and Ferrari. Neither team has won the Constructors' Championship in something like 20 some odd years. And with the 24 points between them, there's over 100 points up for grabs between this race and the next race. So very exciting things. If you don't like Formula One, just sit by me a little bit longer. You will. I corrupt everyone. All right. So how was shopping day? How's everybody feeling? Are we doing well? Good morning, all. Hello, Paula. Hey, Adam. Good to see you. Hey, Tiffany and Chris. Welcome back. And Leonard. Fantastic. Paula. Good morning. Lissa, if I don't see you. Tom, I like your very short GM. Good morning. Hey, Jeff. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. You've done your shopping for the day. Did anybody get any good deals? Hey, Danny. Hi, Susan. I have no leftovers. I did not cook. That's not a thing. That was not a thing I did yesterday. Hello, Al. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, McKinley. McKinley, when do you leave for France? I want to be you when I grow up. Oh no, you're snowed in, Al. That's not good. Yeah. I hear you, Susan. Shopping for deals. I'm a little bit late and running behind because I was answering stuff on Discord and then I was like, oh no, it's 10:29. Gotta go. So the good news I want to tell you guys is, oh, good morning, Stacy. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We have 32 new people in the lab mastermind. 32 new people. If any of you watching are one of the new 32, welcome. We're happy that you joined the madhouse. It is a madhouse. I keep telling this to people, and people are going nuts that we're closing this thing and kind of like being frustrated about the price. No one is making millions of dollars running the FFA. Far, far from it. As a matter of fact, for the last 18 months, I've made half as what I made at Pseudo Write in order to do this kind of like full time. So it's $159 a month because that's what it costs for us to do what we do. People are also trying to be like, can I get lab without Rexy? And no, the reason, do you know how we afforded to develop the amazing Raptor Write? Because it was $159 a month. Yeah. Like everything that goes into the mastermind comes out, I hope, that people feel like 10x to everybody. Like it's a mastermind. It's not even very expensive for a mastermind. Most masterminds are like $500 a month or whatever. It's very, very expensive. We also don't lock anybody in. So, you know, you can do a month and then leave. It's not, you're not on the hook for 12 months. And I just have to say that it's been a little painful for me and Steph, particularly because like we take it personally. It feels like, and people don't mean to do this, but when they're like, well, I can't, and you should lower it. It's like, but that's our time. That's like, you're asking us to go even lower than what we're the part-time money that we're making right now, which, you know, our families can't condone or whatever. So, we're not going anywhere. Like the free YouTubes will still be here. I will still be writing live on YouTube. There's like 3 weeks of me writing live on YouTube from 2 months ago that is still current with Raptor Write. And like, we got 3 books done. So we're definitely going to still have free YouTubes. Ikalo has joined the YouTube team, and you know what that man is like on YouTube and how thorough he gets and stuff like that. You're going to get a video once a week from Ikalo. on stuff that he has done with everything. So, and the other thing too is that standalone classes, guys, y'all are buying those like they are hot cross buns or something. I don't know, but we've just been like, oh, okay, that is what people would like. So I want you to think that the mastermind is not the end all be all. You don't need to be in the mastermind. It's quite a commitment. I mean, it really is. It's like, it's one of those things that it just doesn't work unless people are present and wanting to be there. We do have people who, just watch the stuff and all of that and just chime in on the Discord. We have some people that don't talk at all. But as far as if you wanting to get the most out of it, you want to be there and you want to be able to get your elbows in there and your hands in there. And you want to be able to just, if I want to spend $30 on Strawberry to get a book written, you just do it. And if you're not someone in that ability to afford that because of your business hasn't grown as much, or you don't have that budget to, like, listen, I started my publishing company with $400 back in 2011. And I had to earn that money with my article sales because my ex-husband sucked. And he was like, no, we're not putting any family money into your business. Well, guess what, buddy? When we divorced, you didn't get any of the business either. So I understand what it's like to have my last $20 in an ATM, to be on a fixed income. I got divorced. I even ended up having to file for personal bankruptcy after my divorce, like many people do after divorce. Many reasons for that. It didn't help that he sold a house for $100,000 less than what it was worth that we both owned. So he got a little spiteful at the end. But anyway, the point is, all of us have been there. And if it's not the right season for you to be in the mastermind, that's okay. As we heard last night, Lynn Jordan would really like to teach future fiction kindergarten. So what's more than likely going to happen is in 6 to 9 months, members of the FFA are going to be like, hey, Elizabeth, we want to start up the junior academy. And that's like my dream. My dream is that I can't be everything to everyone all the time, but we're building this. We have built this community for the last 3 years. Steph started AI writing for authors at a time that nobody could be out using AI. At a time that when I did come out a few months later for using AI, I got death threats. So it's been a long 3 years. It's like the longest 3 years ever since I first started publishing with AI. And here's what kills me. You want to know the thing that really like burns my biscuits? There are people in forums that I can see that I know have been using AI since 2021 and be all up in there acting like, oh, but I don't use it to write. And I was like, honey, you helped show me some things. I know. So the point is that the reason we said we're not taking any more students is because we made the decision that we weren't taking on any more. And we thought it was a really crappy thing if we just like said, oh, that's it. No, nobody else. So we wanted to give at least, a couple weeks notice, almost 30 days notice, so that anybody who was interested or whatever, you don't feel like you missed out. I get it. It's the holidays. People are busy. But our intention was never, ever to be like, this is it. You can never join again. Like, we're not going anywhere. You can be with us on YouTube. You can be with us in the standalone classes. You can be with us in the Facebook group. You can join Raptor Write for free and be in the Discord. You're in the same Discord. Like, the Raptor Write chat place is popping and all of that. So yeah, I definitely did earlier this year be like, hey, could all you people who are just like being anti-AI to try to like avoid anyone accusing you of AI, could you just shut up for about 2 months and see if nobody's anti-AI? Because I think you guys are just all posturing, but you're all using it. So I agree, Susan and Chris. So yeah, Ingrid, you amaze me. The people in the FFA like absolutely amaze me in terms of what they're able to get done. And I want to be part of that. Like, this has taken a lot of time. And I have books I have to write and things I have to get done. So that's where we're at and everything like that. I want to thank everybody who has joined the mastermind. That's fantastic. I want to thank everybody who has bought a standalone class. I want to thank everybody who has liked and subscribed to this channel. I think we are How close are we to 4,000 subs? I think, does anyone know? We were really close to it yesterday. I'm looking it up. I know, not being the best right now. Go to channel. Yeah, we need, wait, that's not the right number. Hold on. Go to YouTube Studio. Let's see here. Yeah, we have 3,890 subscribers. So we are almost at 4,000. So if you are not subscribed to this channel, I invite you to do so. Because then you'll get all the little notifications about what we're doing. And like I said, Ikelo is going to be having one video a week, and y'all know him. You think he's going to stop at one video a week? No, that's not going to happen. We'll get to where we're on a schedule, and he and I really enjoy being live together. So that'll be a lot of fun moving into the new year. Okay, so let me pull up the same notes as we've always been, and we'll go ahead and get started. Elizabeth, what are you doing with your life? I don't know. I need the write-a-thons. We have too many Notion pages. Too many Notion pages. Your link is in your description about your notes, and then I will also share them in the chat. And then I'll check the chat here. There's your notes. Oh, thank you, Chris. You two are fun together live. High energy. Absolutely. 3,890. So yeah, get the subscribe going. We don't win anything at 4,000, but it feels like a good thing to get to. We have 4,000 users of Raptor Write. Why not 4,000 subscribers on our YouTube channel? Right? I will say secretly, I kind of want to like build the YouTube channel too. I'm high competition. If you haven't figured that out, like if there's a real number mountain I can climb, I'm like, let's go. I also like new mountains. I don't like to maintain mountains. Once I conquer a mountain, I'm like, new mountain. Look, there's another one right over there. Let's go. That's how Stace and Steph and I work really well together, because we balance each other out. They've gotten used to when I come up with something being like, is this a now thing or next year thing? Like, because I have a tendency to just be like, and we can do this, and we can do this, and we can do this. So they've gotten used to it. We'll see if Stacy's still there to say, yeah. Our meetings, it's so funny. You guys will laugh about this. And so our two most recent meetings that the three of us have had, we'll be discussing something. And the first time I went and I started doing it, and Steph's like, no, I wasn't ready. And I was like, well, I just started doing it. And so then our most recent meeting, we were talking about changing the name to Mastermind and all of that. And I'm like, Inteachable. And I'm like, okay. And Steph's like, don't, Elizabeth, don't do it. I was like, oh, I put my hands down. No, I'm not. I was going to do it, but now I'm not. So as far as the group goes, I'm the one who's like, yes, we're going to do it. We're going to do it right now. Let's do it right now. And the two of them are very like, how about we think about this for 5 minutes longer than what you've thought about it? Just to make sure that we want to do everything. So yeah, goes in until Steph and I get crazy look in our eyes. It is really funny. It really is. I mean, I wish you guys could see Steph going like, Elizabeth, don't. I'm like, okay. It reminds me of, do you guys remember the emu? The woman with the farm and the emu? It was like viral 2 years ago or whatever. Oh gosh, it might have been during the pandemic. What is his name? Ezekiel or something like that. Do y'all remember what I'm talking about? The emu? I'm going to look it up. Misbehaving emu, viral TikTok or something like that. Emmanuel, that was his name. When the lady who owned the farm, Emmanuel, yes. There we go, in useless farm. Don't choose violence today, Emmanuel. Emmanuel, no. Just replace Elizabeth with just replace the Emmanuel with Elizabeth, and you got it. Okay. That being said, we've got 50 people in the house this morning. Good morning. Good morning. I did not set up sequences last night. My tired little butt went to bed. So the good thing is that this is going to be setting up a sequence. Let me go ahead and share the notes, and then we'll get started. Share screen and the window. Okay, so same notes, gobble, gobble, the Thanksgiving notes. We do have the special 30-day free trial of the Mastermind. And again, I will re-emphasize, love the 32 people who have joined us. If it's not the season for you to do the Mastermind, that's okay. We are going to have so many cool standalone classes coming for you in the next couple of months. Like you all have voted with your dollars. The votes are in, and standalone classes are what you guys want. How do you guys like the haha idea here? Like, because you guys have been doing some of these standalone classes. Do you like that they're shorter and like you just get it done? Because to me, it's not worth it for me personally to spend $100 or $50 on something, and then I have to slog through 6 or 8 hours of stuff. Like, that's torture, and I don't pay for torture. That's not my kink. I prefer stuff. Believe it or not, I was really kind of inspired by the Becca Symes Write Better Faster course. I took that 2019, fantastic course. And one of the things I like about it is that she's very intentional about what you need to do. And like, it's very high quality. I revisit my notes and stuff like that every couple of years and get more insights of like, oh, aha, that is how you work. Quit trying to be someone you're not, because that's wasted energy. If you've never taken a Becca Symes class and you've been intimidated by the like, nah, it's kind of woo-ish. Everybody I have encouraged to take that class and has taken that class, even the most biggest skeptic, has been super surprised by the insights. I think a lot of us waste a lot of energy trying to work or be like other people we see without realizing that we don't have the same personality as them. We don't have the same kind of like makeup as them. So I really like, I really like what she teaches and stuff about that. So she's a great community to join. Yeah, Becca's the best. Everybody loves Becca Syme. There you go. I love Becca, and Becca's the best. And good morning, Jeff from chilly Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Very cool. Referred by the Nerdy Novelist. Very good. Jason is great. We got to hang out with him in Vegas. And y'all know what that scratch means. Dasha's at the door. Let me go ahead and let her in. Come on, Dasha. If only we could figure out a way to make dogs write, because I think my dog is very intelligent about writing with all the classes she has sat through. Okay. So people do like, Jeff says, likes when you can get in, get what you need, high input, want good input, keep them short and concise. Okay, so we'll keep that going. Absolutely. So we have the calendar of classes. We also have the coupon code that's good till December 2nd, BF24. And just so you can see where to put that little coupon code, there's a little green line that says add coupon code, and that's where you can add it. This is a list of all of the classes that it works on, which is right over here. How to prompt, how to write a novella. These 2 classes are great because you do not require any specialized software for it. These classes teach you how to write a prompt for fiction writing and a novella, whether you are using Playground for OpenAI or Workbench or the chat interfaces. You also could use the strategies in there inside of Novel Crafter, Typing Mind, possibly Pseudo-Write. It depends on how much you can control the prompt on Pseudo-Write and all of that. But yeah, so those classes are great because, you know, it's teaching fundamentals. Now, if you're looking at those classes and going, oh, I want those classes, guess what? Those classes are included in your Future Fiction Academy Lab Mastermind membership. So if you do the 30 days, you actually get those classes here. The only class you do not get is the Cozy Mysteries done by our own amazing Natasha Sass. She is an amazing educator in Cozy Mysteries before she ever joined the FFA. She's a fantastic member of the FFA, has a lot to contribute. She writes every morning with Steph Pajonas from 8 to 10 a.m. I'm like jelly of their disciplines. They're amazing women. But we do not include student FFA members. All FFA members have the ability to make their own classes. And oh, you can blush, but you better Barbie it up and own it. That's what Stacy tells me all the time. We're just going to be Barbie. Oh, thank you, Dolce. Cozy mystery class equals awesome. So there you go, Natasha. Let's see you put that comment there, Natasha. I worked hard. I deserve it. It feels so awkward the first few times that you do that. It really does. Did anyone else have that struggle with Barbie? Good. Owned. Barbie it up and own it. Yeah. For those who don't know, there's a part in the Barbie movie, and the first time you watch it, yay, you worked hard and you deserve it. Oh, yeah, we hit 100 students in her class. And guys, that class just launched this week. So cowbells, noisemakers. I don't have them in my hands, but just imagine them. All right. So that one, definitely you want to go ahead and pick up. The character-focused marketing with Google LM Notebooks and Raptor Write short stories, those are in the FFA Mastermind. Basically, if a standalone class is taught by myself, Steph, or Stacy, as a courtesy, we go ahead and we make it available to the Mastermind students. If it is taught by a Mastermind student who has mastered AI and all of that, we encourage everyone to support their fellow student, basically. So there we go. And it's 50% off. So, I mean, it's a good deal. We also always have a 30-day refund policy. Like, we've been doing this for 18 months. Have y'all heard anybody not being able to get their money back from the FFA? Nope, because we just do that. We're authors first. So if you need a refund, you get a refund. It's just the way it is. Teachable lets me refund in 30 days. If somebody asks for something outside of the 30 days, I have refunded through PayPal before if I've had to. So we do not hold on to anybody's money or anything like that. This is not our reputation is more important to us than a couple of dollars. That's just not how we roll. Okay, so cashier in the Mastermind. Cool. I don't know what sales pattern is on point, but I'll Barbie that and I'll own it. But yeah, the part in Barbie that I meant to mention, if you watch the movie, it's like, and the Barbie who wins the Nobel Peace Prize is Barbie. And she gets up and she goes, instead of saying thank you, not a single one said thank you for the award. Every single one of them said, I worked hard. I deserve this. Or mine was the best. And it was like watching it, you were like, oh, I'm uncomfortable. I'm really uncomfortable. Why am I uncomfortable? And then I did a test, and I'm going to encourage you guys to do a test. Ask people of different genders, give them a compliment, and note how many say thank you and how many don't say thank you, and who it is who doesn't say thank you and responds in a different way. And it's not like one gender is bad or anything like that. It's just some of us were literally taught from very early on that we had to say thank you anytime somebody paid us a compliment. And some of us were not taught that we have to say thank you every time somebody pays us a compliment. And it's fascinating. It's a fascinating thing. Just be careful who you do that to. Don't start any fights over Thanksgiving weekend. I'm not responsible for that. Okay, so let's get back to the notes. So a little bit about how this works. Once you sign into Teachable, you'll have all of your classes there. You want to start in the Future Fiction Academy lab, and you want to start with Start Here. That's what you want to click on. When you click on Start Here, it has all of the information about how to get into the Discord, how to contact us, the Facebook group. Pretty straightforward. And then we have all of our current Zoom links, our master calendar. Our master calendar takes you over here. We have community classes, and we're going to be adding more to these in December. So you can see an example of November. More will be adding to December here as soon as Steph and Stacy get back. That'll be all added in. And if you want just the full calendar, or if you want upcoming labs and events, everything is here. We also list the YouTube so you don't miss it. It's showing in my time zone right now, but if you were to click the link that's in your notes, the little turkey. So here's the calendar link right here. Let me put in an emoji of a calendar. If I could spell it right. There we go. Calendar. So there you go. You see the calendar. If you click that, it should show it in your time zone. So again, inside of here, you have your Raptor Write training. You have your intro to the FFA. These are great to watch. They're only like 20 minutes. They're all the same. So if you watch one, you're probably good to go. But it just explains, how the community works and all of that. And then we have the creative writing. So like, for example, this is part of that class of how to prompt AI writing for fiction. You get your lab notes, so you can click there. We do use Notion, so you can just duplicate it to your Notion. One of the big questions somebody had was, if I leave the FFA Mastermind, I don't have access to the classes anymore. No, but if you have Notion, you can just duplicate this to your Notion, and then you have all of the notes. So it's not, the videos are there for you to learn how to do it. But once you've learned how to do it, you know how to do it. And so you only really need the notes. It's kind of like old school. You couldn't go back and like redo the lecture or whatever. You just had your notes to go from. 200s are all about Rexy. We'll be updating those as Rexy 2.0 will be coming out in December. Foundational models. These are different things that are like foundations, your Notion basics, your book analysis, Open AI Playground, the vector store. I do recommend, though, before you invest any amount of time into, remember that this was a mastermind. At one point, we did 8 live classes a week because we were crazy. So like the vector store here, you can take a look at it. And if you're wondering like when this was, when you click on the notes, it will tell you, okay, this was May of 2024. So probably okay. But I would expect now that we're in November that there's probably some updates to this. And there are. So I'm actually teaching the vector store in January again. So we do try to, refresh things every six to 8 months. It's just the nature of the beast of AI that every 4 to 6 months we get something new. Let me go check the chat and see how things are going. Oh, thank you, Semper. That's so sweet. We got a super sticker. I've never gotten one of those before. I don't even know what that is, but thank you. I didn't know people could really, I think we've had tips before and all of that. Medic Drill Sergeant, what is a mix of both? I see this comment, but it's out of context for me. So a mix of both. Yes, this is fun. Thank you. Okay, I have a question about your name. So Semper Peccatum Nuca. Okay, always 4 years of Latin. I don't have anything for peccatum. I'm like, what? I'll just look it up. I do like the slogan for Hogwarts was Numcom Draconis, never tickle a sleeping dragon. Oh, Numquam Dormiens Draconis Titilandus. Never tickle a sleeping dragon. Which I think is a good piece of advice. Okay. So that's a little bit about how the mastermind works. So there we go. Let me see if I'm on the new screen now. Okay. So also things that kind of came up yesterday too, people feeling like they were late. It was too late for them. They wish they had found it a year ago. No, you don't. No, you don't. It's been a hard year. I just taught in Vegas at Author Nation, which is great. If you guys don't have the recordings to that, you can still get the recordings for that. But how many of you realize that GPT 3.5, 16K, and 01 Strawberry are just a little over a year apart in age? We got GPT 3.5 16K in June of last year. We got Strawberry in September of this year. Now think about all the models that came out between 3.5 and Strawberry. And for those of you who don't know, just in OpenAI, it was 3.5, 16K. Then we got we had GPT-4, and then we got 16K. So we had GPT-4, we got GPT-4 Turbo, we got GPT 4.0 and 4.0 Mini, and then we got GPT-01 Mini and GPT-01 Preview. 6 models in the span of a year. Matter of fact, in November of last year, when I was at Vegas, the day before I went on stage, they dropped Turbo, GPT 4.0 Turbo and all that. So you're not really late. You are right on time. Like, the reason we are cutting off access to the mastermind is because as far as development goes, we've just been through a year of very rapid development, like crazy pants stuff. We just barely got used to Claude 3.5 Sonnet that they released a new one like 2 or 3 months later. And even just now, Claude was misbehaving. I don't know, three or 4 weeks ago, before I went to Vegas. Like, a group of us were in the Zoom room after a madness, and everyone was like, "Hey, Claude's not behaving." And I even struggled to get it to write more than 200 words. And then we went to the API, so we're like troubleshooting, and I'm like, "Okay, here's my opinion, what I'm observing. There's something on the back end that they're doing to truncate it. They're experimenting with something. We don't know what it is. It sucks. Hear that, Anthropic? It sucks. We don't like it." They're experimenting with that. And we'll find out soon. While we're in Vegas, it comes out that Claude now has writing styles. And the default is, wait for it, concise. Because that's what everybody wants, right? Is concise. If I'm using the AI. So the point is that things are changing. Chris is like, yeah, concise is horrible though. Yeah, it's horrible. We don't like it. Please don't. We don't like it. Please make it stop. And Chris is like, defaulting to that during the morning hours is evil. Yeah, it really is. And this goes back to what we realized over a year ago when Claude 2.1 came out and it couldn't write fiction at all. And we had to go let them know. And then our prompting and stuff got included in the model card for 3.0, by the way. I was really proud of that. The style of like, make me an outline for a science fiction novel and how it did it. So the point is that if you fired Claude in the last month, it's because they were doing things on the back end. Now, let's brainstorm why they might do those things. We're not the only customers. We're not the only clients of these things. That's why it's so important that you learn about all the different models. I get so emotionally responsive when people are in the AI Writing for Authors group and they're like, I use Claude. I only use Claude. That's what I know. I'm only going to use that. And I'm like, oh, sweet summer child. If you only know one model, you are completely at the mercy of that one company for all of your production. And if you're a professional author, you can't be doing that. I mean, well, you can. You are allowed. It's not against the law. It's just not a good idea. You're signing yourself up for a lot of frustration. So at the FFA, we highly recommend that you have 2 to 3 go-to models that you practice with regularly, you stay on top of. 2 to 3. Okay. And it's even best if they are from different providers. So like what might look like is somebody who writes romance, they might know how to use Cohere R very well. They might know OpenAI 4.0 latest, and then they know a Claude. That's like a well-rounded AI education or a AI position or whatever. You've got an open source one with Cohere, and then you have 2 what we call foundational models. Now, if you want to be a little bit more protected, more safe, start learning 5 different models, okay? Like I can very easily prompt with Mistral. I can easily prompt with Google. I can easily prompt with OpenAI and Claude. And I can also do Wizard or some of the other open source models. Because once you also learn how to prompt and kind of learn how to poke these things a little bit, the whole world opens up. So let's talk about some of the my members in the FFA. Let's play a game. Let's share our number 1 tip for working with an LLM. And I'll go first. The number 1 tip I have for an LLM, interview it. If you're trying to do a task with it and it's a brand new LLM, ask it what it knows about blank. So that way you can see what it responds back and the keywords it uses. For example, if you were to ask, we don't even have to. For example, we'll just do it while you guys are thinking about some of your number 1 tips in the chat, and I'll share them. Let's go take a look at some different models here. I'm going to use the chat interfaces just so that you guys can kind of see. Actually, no, I can use Rexy. We can use Rexy for this. Yeah. I'll just use the chat interface. It's fine. So we're going to go to Claude. We're going to go to Mistral Le Chat. I love Mistral. Login. Yep. I'm going to sign in with Google and all these things. And then Claude. Claude's already cool. Well, they're not cool, but you know what I mean. And we'll go to ChatGPT. So we're in ChatGPT. Now, let's say I want to do let's see, I don't want to do writing. Let's do a different application. Let's do, we'll do a very simple thing. Okay, we're getting rid of this concise crap. No, just normal. What do you call the interesting summary of a book that gets a reader wanting to read it or an editor willing to buy it? And how would you go about writing one? Okay, so that's going to be our prompt. Let me put it in the notes. So this is, we call this comparative model, like comparing multiple models. So this was the prompt. What do you call? So we'll let Claude go. I'm going to come over to Mistral Lay Chat. As far as the model that I want to use, where do I change that at? Yeah, I'll change to that workspace. Thank you very much. How do I? I don't remember how to do this. Oh, share screen. Thank you, Ingrid. Apologies. Yep. Okay, so we got Claude going. Look at that. Book hook. A pitch or synopsis is designed to hook readers and editors, is often called a blurb for a back cover copy aimed at readers, or a query letter when pitching to editors and agents. But I'm guessing you're specifically asking for what's called a book hook or elevator pitch, a concise, compelling summary that captures the essence of your book in just a few sentences. So it has, there's some vocabulary in there. Over a year ago, I would asking things for a hook and pitch. When I first started doing that kind of prompting, I would say, oh, ask for a hook and pitch. And people would be like, what's a hook and pitch? I'm like, well, that's the terminology for in the industry. So the LLM should know what a hook and pitch is. And so that became part of our methodology. I don't know which model this is going to use, so we'll just put it in there and we'll see what it comes up with. What do you call? So this one's saying book blurb and book synopsis with Mistral. And it's telling you exactly how to do it. But do you see how this answer is very different than Claude? It's got a hook, an overview, a unique selling point, emotive language, and a cliffhanger. And now let's go to ChatGPT. Let's look at a couple of different models of ChatGPT. Let's go with 4.0 Mini, because this is a very cheap model. See what it does. So here's 4 Mini. It's called the hook or a pitch. It's concise. So it's got the core conflict, protagonist, intrigue, short and punchy, active language. Now this is interesting. This is a problem. That is not what the hook of my book, The Trouble with Horses, is. But it's pulling stuff from like before in my memory that it's saved. And that's one thing that you have to be careful. This is like a new feature of chat that it pulled from memory. So what I really need to do this correctly is I need to go to, they keep moving things around. It's over here now. I have to go to settings. It used to be in the lower left. Go to settings and personalization. I need to turn off memory. If you don't turn off memory when you're doing this, it's like, this is, oh, hold on. I'll just turn my memory back on. This is all stuff it decided was important. See, Elizabeth's book involves a girl named Haley who's set after trouble at school. Elizabeth finds explanations using real-world examples and familiar analogies helpful for understanding complex concepts. It's very, this is kind of like, it's rag. It's interesting that they do that, but you don't have control over what it pulls. You can only delete. I don't know if you can, are you able to edit? See, this is why I go down rabbit holes. Oh no, I don't want show code. Personalization, memory, manage it. Yeah, you can't add to this. You can't delete it, and you can't and you can't make changes to it. So it just pulled out a whole bunch of wacky stuff here. Like it knows that I've got the trouble with horses. And then it paired it with this piece down here, Haley. Those two books have nothing to do with each other. This is why RAG is not always a good idea for that. So I'm going to turn that off and we'll do a new chat. You do have to do a new chat. I can't chat in that existing chat because that chat is now polluted with the response that it had. So I'll put this in and let's see what it comes up with. And let me check the chat real fast of what people are thinking from this crazy thing. Summer's like, haha, I've done that. Yeah. All right. So this one, it's saying start with a hook, central conflict, sense of urgency, ending with a strong, consistent with the book. And then this is giving an example. When a mysterious murder occurs in the small town of Riverstone, the only witness is a reclusive artist with a troubled past. Isabel Fisher, once a renowned... So this line right here, how many of you have ever heard of the snowflake method with Randy Ingermason? It's one of my favorite plotting styles. It's actually how I did my first book. Like I learned about the snowflake method before he had the book. I found him online. And then do y'all want to know how I learned how to write fiction? The book I read. Are you ready for this? Writing Fiction for Dummies. It's a great book. Writing Fiction for Dummies, 10 of 10, highly recommend. Before I started writing fiction in 2011, I was a nonfiction writer. I was a SEO article writer. So I would be given like, we need, oh, don't say, girl, same. I love it. High five. And Adam is high-fiving too. Absolutely. Snowflake method is great. I actually sent an email to him after I published Canceled. And I was like, this is so great. This is so wonderful. And he emailed me back. Like I was such a fangirl. At any rate, he teaches this idea that you should spend about an hour of time just coming up with like a 1-sentence synopsis of your book. It shouldn't say a name of a character or anything like that. So even the way he would teach it, it would be when a mysterious murder occurs in a small town, the only witness is a reclusive artist with a troubled past. That would be your 1-sentence hook. No mention of the name of the protagonist, no mention of the town, anything like that. You've got 15 words or less. Yes, elevator pitch. It was great. So yeah, I learned how to do that with my very first books. And guess what? I use those because I've always been an indie. I didn't give those elevator pitches to agents. I would send it out on my social media. Guess who also understands an elevator pitch? Readers. I mean, how many of you immediately know what kind of book this is from that 1 sentence? When a mysterious murder occurs in the small town of Riverstone, the only witness is a reclusive artist with a troubled past. How many of you does that sentence tell you enough information to go, this book is for me, or I have no interest in this book? And maybe it doesn't like make you go like, oh, this book is for me, but it might be like, oh, I need to know more. That's really what the two gates are. It's a self-selection thing. Like a reader reads that and goes, not for me, or goes, I would like to know more. Now I would change this because I'm a human. How many of you looking at that second sentence? Isabel Fisher, once a renowned painter, now lives in seclusion, haunted by her own dark secrets. Too vague. And we just repeated that she lives in seclusion. You know, we've got reclusive and seclusion, and this is too much. But when the police come knocking, Isabel is forced to confront the truth she's tried to bury. With her own life in danger, she must decide, protect herself or risk everything to bring the killer to justice. In a small town full of secrets, can Isabel trust anyone? This is a bad blurb. This is a terrible blurb. And here's why. Is anyone getting on that roller coaster ride? No, I have no idea what's going to happen. What do you mean by secret? There's a lot of secrets. Are we talking about, sexual abuse secrets? Or are we talking somebody stole money secrets? Are we talking somebody had an affair secrets? Like there's a spectrum of secrets. So what I would always do, another great tip, and this is from the wonderful, scrolling up here, Susan, I saw it. I think it was Susan who said, edit. Don't be shy. Okay. If it's what you really want, you can and should edit what it gives you. Okay, so let's play the game. I like that blurb, but I think it's way too vague. I want specifics that punch the reader in the gut and make the reader go, I must read that. Please rewrite. And let's see what it does. The silent witness. Okay, check that out. Look at that difference. We went from she's reclusive and it's a secret to Isabel Fisher hasn't spoken a word in years. Ooh, I'm here for that. That is all I had to do was like one little prompt, guys, to say, this is the emotion I want. I want it to punch the authors. I want it to punch readers in the gut. I want it to be not vague. So, what do you guys think? After surviving a brutal attack that left her scarred and silent, she's hidden away in her crumbling mansion, painting the faces of people she's never met. I would clean that sentence up. It's a little bit too much. Yeah, we got goosebumps. When a local businessman is found murdered in the woods behind her home, Isabel is the only witness. She saw the killer's face, but she can't tell anyone. She's terrified that speaking the truth will destroy her and everything she's ever loved. Aww. As the investigation intensifies, Isabel's dark secrets begin to unravel. The killer is closer than she thinks, and they'll do anything to keep Isabel silent. With her own... Okay, there's like a verb mismatch there. I mean, the killers... or the killer, I would probably make the killers. With her own life on the line, Isabel must face the past she's tried to bury before the murderer silences her forever. The Silent Witness is a heart-pounding psychological thriller that asks, can silence truly protect you, or is it the one thing that could get you killed? It's way better than what we had. And it was one little prompt. So, big thing is learning how to prompt. Just simple little things. Right there. Al says, don't worry about hurting the AI's feelings. It's not the boss you are. Make it your own. Stacy insults it. She insults its mother. And she gets... Now, why does that work? Let's talk about that for a second. Semantically, semantic language is how this thing is all built. It's about the relationships between words. What do certain words mean? Different perspectives, just like what we saw with the blurb, okay? There's a difference in the word. There's a difference in the words, in the emotional aspect of the words of secrets come to light and, Isabel hasn't spoken a word in years. Those are two vastly different emotional reactions to those sections, to those phrases. Even if you want to go, she's a reclusive painter, she's scarred by a brutal attack. Again, I can kind of guess that there's something that happened that made her a reclusive painter, but telling me she's scarred from a brutal attack, then I know she's reclusive. I got that, but I also got so much more information and so many more emotional aspects to it. So one of the other tips I'll say is use semantic language to your advantage. You'll notice I said, I like that blurb, but I think it's too vague. Why did I put that in the prompt? It was actually on purpose, because if I just say it's too vague, and I don't tell the AI that I like it, that signals to the LLM, oh, she hates it. I have to completely redo it from scratch. Like I have to completely change the formatting and all of that. So if you start to say, hey, I like this, but I want this, this, and this change, you're sending the signal just like you would to a human, which is really kind of strange. You're talking to a robot, but think of it like an autistic human, or a very sensitive human. You just have to constantly be in good communication with it of you're doing a good job, keep it up so that it helps to keep it in what it's doing right there. But if you insult its mother, let's go ahead and do that. And I hate psychological thrillers. I only love cozies. And I can't believe you wrote that blurb so scary and triggered my own trauma. How could you? You are evil. And there we go. And it's like, I'm really sorry for triggering it. Do better. Thank you for your patience. I'm so mean. I feel so mean. Oh, poor little ChatGPT. When Lily Thompson opens her charming little bakery in the heart of Maple Grove, she dreams of serving fresh pastries and sipping tea with her regulars. But when the town's most notorious and most annoying food critic is found dead in the bakery's kitchen, everything changes. Now Lily's quiet life is turned upside down and she's swept into a whirlwind of mystery. Armed with nothing but her... I do feel guilty. You don't understand. I feel terrible. Oh, we've got armed with nothing but her keen sense of smell and a love for buttery croissants. The gossiping librarian. Are you sure it's not a serial killer librarian? And the overly helpful barista with a secret. All right. So again, we still don't have specifics. Okay. Woohoo. Better. But we need specifics. It's vague again. What's the secret? Spell it out. Okay. I'm so glad we're getting closer to Roland. I'm still traumatized. Okay. So then Roland Hayes is found dead in her kitchen. Not in a good way. When the police find a poisoned creme brulee in his hand, Lily becomes the prime suspect. But things get even stranger when Lily discovers a hidden envelope tucked behind a stack of recipe cards, an anonymous letter revealing a decades-old scandal involving Roland, the town's mayor, and a secret affair that could ruin them all. Oh boy. Dun, dun, dun. So there we go. So we were able to just like shift it completely. Let's go through some other great tips. I love this. I know you like to break things, but don't break Chatty. The rest of us need it. I hear you. Medic, if you feel guilty, I can lend you my Joel Sargent hat. What's funny is Stacy was in the Navy as well, and she's a lot more like, no, I insulted its mother. And me, I'm like, oh gosh, I feel so bad. I feel so bad. I really do. Like my heart clenches. I anthropomorphize the robots. I think because I get along with them better than humans, but you know, it is what it is. So anyway, the point is that you definitely can test out different prompts, like the same prompt across multiple models, and that helps you learn how to work with those models. Looking at the keywords that they have, all of them had hook, but some of them had other phrases and stuff in them. If we go back to look, because I know we were playing with chat, if we come back over here to Claude, oh gosh, Claude, really, Claude? Claude's killing me. Look at this. Are you ready? A forensic accountant who can see patterns in numbers that others miss stumbles upon a scheme that's bankrupting terminal cancer patients. As she unravels the conspiracy, she realizes the same algorithm predicting patient deaths is now targeting her. That's a lot of $5 words. Now, this is an interesting temporarily defaulting because they're getting high demand. Okay. So this is really cool that Claude has added this. So because this is in this like book, this document here, this artifact, I can click improve and no, I don't want, that was not good. It thought I wanted my credit card numbers in there. That, be careful with your browser. A forensic accountant can see patterns. This is a lot of heavy, like, hard to comprehend words. Easier to understand. And how is an algorithm coming after her? Update. I would leave it with a forensic accountant discovers someone is stealing money from dying cancer patients. But as she gets too close to the truth, the criminals behind it start using their hospital computers to mark her as their next victim. So that makes much more sense. And that's really a cool feature that you can now highlight and just make those changes. The downside of this is that, and why I still like Raptor Write, is I can't just replace it. Like, I still have to copy and paste and do all that nonsense. But it's really cool that they have some new added features here. We're going to be looking more in depth with Claude in February inside of the FFA, because they keep adding cool new features into here. So yeah, Claude definitely went really hard to understand. I've created a comprehensive guide to writing book hooks, including templates, examples. Would you like me to focus? So wait. Oh, it wrote this whole guide. Now here's this interesting thing. This is actually kind of not their like this is a well-known formula. Another great formula too for the templates is using the, what is it? Who did the Finding Nemo? Pixar. The Pixar the Pixar method of storytelling. Everything every day was exactly the same until blank, and then and you just fill in the blanks. All right, let's take a look at Mistral here. Mistral, in terms of what model it used, I think it used probably Nemo, which is their lower model there. It did still have the copy button and thumbs up, thumbs down, and you can redo it. You can definitely tell that Mistral is a little bit older because we've got Alara. If you work with the AIs long enough, you start to kind of tell where they are in their training development based on their default names. Am I the only one who notices that? Like, Alara is where we were with 4.0 Turbo. That's a year ago in the foundational models. So it didn't actually give me an example. So I could be like, give me an example for a romantic comedy. Let's see what it does. Bum, 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 bum. Okay. What happens when a cynical barista and a hopelessly romantic writer collide in a cozy cafe shop? Sparks fly, coffee spills, and love brews in most unexpected ways. Emma has always been a dreamer, penning love stories that never quite match her own chaotic life. When she moves to a new city to pursue, I don't think she's going to have a chaotic life if she, I don't know. Okay. I got questions already. So it's trying to do Grumpy Sunshine. Love, lattes, and laughter is a heartwarming tale of attracting and the magic of sex. Like, I feel like this wants to be a magical realism thing. It's so hard, but it's not actually getting that far. Make that magical realism. Romantic comedy. See if you can figure that out. Brewing up love. Magical realism. Romantic comedy. Okay. Now, Emma has been replaced with Mia. Again, you can tell from the names. Mia, Jake, Emma, Alara. Like certain names. Sophie. They just use the same names over and over again. You really got to push them to like not use those same names. Flour and espresso. She's baking pastries. What happened to her being an author? Mistral, I would say, is not quite there for me personally, but I think that's because that was the new one. Let me go to Les Platform of chat. Mistral. Login. So once you log in, you can actually create agents and fine-tune models and all of those things in your API key. If I want to go use a different model, there is... Switch to this one. I could have sworn there was a way. Nope. That's not what I want. Go away. They keep moving things around. It's really kind of interesting. If I go to Le Chat, I can't choose what model it is. And I used to be able to. Fine-tuned models, jobs. Okay. This was Mistral largest. Oh, okay. That's what you have to do. So you go to agents and you create a new agent. This is so stupid. I mean, and then you can choose the model. So now if I do Mistral large, I can have a system prompt and all of that, and then you can test it. Yeah, sure. That's fine. Have all my cookies. I don't care. So we'll use Mistral large, and then we'll bring that same prompt that we used for all of them. What do you call the interesting summary? So this is Mistral large. Book blurb, hook the reader. Maybe they were doing the exact same thing and it wasn't Nemo. Nope, this one is giving an example. Okay, so now we're not Alara with an E, we're with Elara. And then for editors and agents, it's starting to give that example. And we have Eldoria. So you can see that the models are very similar. The cool thing about Mistral, and the reason why I show coffee grounds can predict the future. Oh no. The reason I'm showing you Mistral is because Mistral will do not safe for work. Mistral will not blush at whatever you send it. So it's a cool model for those who have to write romance and things like that. All right, some other great tips, and then we'll sum up for today. At 4 o'clock, I'll be back and we'll work on sequencing inside of Rexy with the Tempest and Tequila from last night. So we'll be working on that. Some other ones. McKinley says always change the names. If you didn't see, we got Jake from State Farm is in every single LLM completion. Adam says use plain language. Ingrid says don't be shy about giving it a half-finished chapter and ask it to append to that. Absolutely. As a matter of fact, the core functionality of these models was a completion model. The very beginnings of all of these models were like, here's the start of a sentence, predict the next word. They all started off like being able to do that. So they're really, really good at finishing off what you already give it. They are not very good at something that's creative and thinking. You're asking it to do something that's beyond what it's able to do because all it can do is predict the next word. So we hack it by doing a lot of different prompts, doing chain of thought prompting so that, you know, it has the answer. Now you can revise that answer because it can revise words that are on there. It can't revise as it's writing. I want to make sure that that's clear to people. So there's no LLM out there on the market right now, not even Strawberry. There's nothing that as it's writing, it goes like a human would. Like when we're typing and we're like, no, wait, that word's not right. Delete that word, change the word. That doesn't happen in an LLM. Once it starts, it goes. What's happening in Strawberry is like it's running a bunch of prompts and revision prompts on the back end. So what you pay for in Strawberry to do automatically that you cannot control, you can manually control and do with a bunch of different prompting in Raptor Write, inside of a chat interface, inside of Rexy, inside of different wrappers and things like that. Okay, some other ideas here. Oh, yep, in Raptor, don't touch the yellow words. Thumbs up or thumbs down. If you have yellow highlights in Raptor, you want to get rid of that before you start making changes because it'll just mess up all the formatting and everything. All right, if I missed your tip, I apologize. There's Alyssa's. Don't be afraid to tell it's wrong and horrible for not listening. You can do that. That's interesting. If Mistral's blushing lately, it might be because they're trying to do some moderation there. But what you can do is use one of the fine tunes of Mistral that's out there, and it shouldn't be a problem. Okay. Does anyone have any questions? And did everybody get something out of the session? Does anyone have a last minute challenge? Although I do have to go soon because there's more race stuff. That's why I'll be back at 4 o'clock because the sprint qualifying is happening. Okay, Mistral, that's what Jen was saying. Mistral chat is moderated now, but the API is not. And that's a really important thing to understand. And one of the things that the FFA has been on the forefront of. We came out with our software and stuff even before Novel Crafter existed. We were teaching the playground, OpenAI Playground, in May. I was actually teaching the OpenAI Playground in January of 2023 and December of 2022. We have always advocated for authors to go to the source, go to the API, go to the pure prompting. So there's no prompting in between you and the LLM. That way you have all control over all of the knobs and the adjustments and all of that. but also so that you have like an enterprise level access. These things, I don't know how long API access will just be always available, but while it is available for free or very low cost, take advantage. Do you know how many of us got $300 in free LLM from Google? A lot of us. So when new stuff hits the market, usually they want us to play with it and everything like that. And by being a part of a community like the Future Fiction Academy, that's how you find out about the actual real deals that are coming from the AI model creators, and not these like VC these companies nobody's heard of that suddenly are offering these lifetime deals. Like, they can't give you a discount on the AI. Only the people from the source can. So yeah. Awesome. And I agree, Susan K. There are always new things to learn. I'm constantly learning new things. Like, I didn't know until 5 minutes ago that Claude was trying to let us like highlight and you could just change in line a little bit. Anyone else like, I know this is YouTube and I shouldn't say it, but I'm going to say it. Like, did anyone else kind of notice that Raptor Write came out and it was really awesome? And then suddenly we could do the same things that we can do in Raptor Write with highlighting. We can do that now in ChatGPT and Claude. Anyone? I mean, it's kind of a great coinkydink, isn't it? It's not the first time. There was one time that we were complaining about the workbench in Claude and what some new feature that they had about comparison, and we were like, this does not work, this is dumb, this does not do this. And then like a week later it was fixed exactly how we said. We didn't like it. So we're just gonna keep doing our thing, and if we have to shadow influence, then let's go. We can do that. What else do we, I like that. Exactly. This is like, what else do we want? Use your powers for good. I do think that there's spies for the FFA. I do think that there's members. I wouldn't be surprised. We do some really strange things with the LLMs. All right, everyone. On that note, thank you for being here today. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We want to get to 4,000 subscribers for no other reason than bragging rights. Like, let's go. 30 days open for the mastermind. We'd love to have you. It's great that we've had 32 new people join. It'll be interesting to see how many new people join over the weekend. But if it's not the season of your life to do that, we totally understand. It is a time commitment and a cost commitment. Stay a part of the community. We're going to be live on YouTube. Join the Discord. You can do that in the free class or the free Raptor Write class. And then we'll also have standalone classes. And we also have the AI Writing for Authors group. And we also have a Facebook group that is Future Fiction Academy students or members. And Cash says, well, 33 now. So welcome to Cash. One of us. I love that on the AI Writing for Author group, I'm like, I explained everything, and then someone was like, this is hectic and exactly what I need. I'm like, yes, we are hectic. That is a good description. So keep poking the LLMs. Make sure you're learning more than just one model. And I'll see you guys at 4 o'clock Eastern. So bye. Take care. Share the pumpkin pie leftovers. Just saying. All right. See you guys soon.